Hey guys, first fan of the night. For behind the scenes videos and additional content, including an unboxing video of this fan and many others, go to patreon.com/dspiffy. That unboxing video may or may not be public one day. So what do we have here, Metal Pete?
We have on this week's edition of New and Brown, we have an 85 Gold Line, or a second generation post-Union Gold Line. This one's a Banvil / Envirofan.
Interesting side note. Technically, we call the pointy unions first gen and these second gen, but there was actually a this is third generation.
Okay.
Even though that's not what we call it. Because the first generation was round union motor gold lines.
Yeah.
And then they switched to the pointy motor union. And then they switched to Taiwan. And then I'm trying to think. I think Taiwan, then China, and then like they slightly redesigned it, but stayed in China, right?
I believe so.
Yeah. So continue though. Do you have anything else you want to say about it, or should I tell my?
Well, besides, this is definitely, of course, as you know, we are surrounded by white ones.
Yes.
And this is a childhood.
Let me ask you a question. Did you see Taiwan gold lines, 85 gold lines in brown as a kid?
I don't remember that. I've seen unions.
Yeah, because that was my thing as a kid. Because for a while, I didn't think the Taiwan version came in brown.
Okay.
Like I only saw it in white.
Right. And
I saw the Union version in both white and brown. And then the first place I ever saw the Taiwan version in brown was a pet store called Fur, Fin, and Feather. That store went out of business, but the building became a rag stock, and last I checked, the fans are still there.
Now, I went to that one expo hall in Elmhurst, Illinois.
Uh-huh.
I was younger. I was still in high school when I went to it, and I saw what I thought were brown gold lines up there, very high up.
Yep.
So I thought they were brown unions at the time, but then when I went back there again later, in not too long back, a few years back, for another drug expo, or it was a convention.
The fans are still there?
Yes, they are, but when I had a camera to go close up,
you could see that they were Taiwan.
They were, and no gold stripe on them, though.
Interesting. I wonder if they were painted then.
Good question, but there's also some that the stripe was just missing.
Yeah. Okay.
Just like there's the HRSs at John Kirk.
Yeah.
Remember those that were like this too?
Yeah, because a lot of companies bought these and relabeled them, and then sometimes they'd either remove the stripe or have their own thicker stripe.
Yeah, I noticed that with HRS.
Yeah. But so this haul gets weirder and weirder the more we look at it. So we have several. I won't tell you how many, but A, you can go to Patreon and watch the unboxing video, or B, if you're patient, all of them will eventually either show up in test videos or install videos, or both. One way or another, we're going to take them all out of the boxes and hang them, whether it's for a test video or to install them somewhere. Yeah. But we have a pile of Envirofans, and 3 of them are in gold. They all say Banvil. 3 of them are in gold line boxes. The rest are in silver line boxes. Only one of them has the Taiwan motor, and that's the one that's up in the video right now. The rest of them have Union Gold Line motors. So we've got some Union Gold Line motors in Taiwan Gold Line boxes, and some Union Gold Line motors in silver line boxes. Every single box has Taiwan blades. There are no, unless we missed a set, there are no Hong Kong made blades. Some of them were clearly white painted motors, painted brown. Like I kept 2 at my house, and I opened one up to change the cord to wire leads, and underneath it was white. But it was clear that the brown is from the factory. Some of them don't have any labeling on the motors themselves. None of them have the normal screws or not spacers. What do I call the thing there?
Noise or
Yeah.
isolation rings.
Isolation spacers, yeah. None of them have that. The screws are not normal screws because they don't have an option for a screwdriver.
This one
had normal screws?
Yes.
Okay.
There were bolts, but they had the screw thing. They had the screw slot.
So that's normal. Some of the Union motors have the normal Union shekel, and some of them have the Taiwan shekel, which is really weird because, you know, the Union shekel is painted brown with the downrod.
Yeah.
The Taiwan shekel is like brass or some similar gold metal.
This one didn't appear that way.
This one had a brown shekel?
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I opened up a Union motor with a brass shekel on it. Not brass, but like brass colored. I think it's like a treated steel. I can't remember what they actually are. But yeah, so I'm calling it that Banvil ended up with a bunch of extra parts and just decided to throw them together and make what they could make. And this is the only one right here where the fan actually matches what's on the box. The rest of them, what's in the box is different than what is actually the fan actually is. And so one of two things: either they just had leftover parts that they were trying to sell and make use of, or somebody, you know, made an order for X number of brown silver lines, and they're like, well, we don't have X number of brown silver lines, but we'll just take we'll throw a bunch of parts together and paint them, you know? So not really sure. But they all are clearly these were sealed boxes from the factory. So, you know, we know, you know, this wasn't like somebody's home job. You know, this is from the Banvil headquarters, at least, you know. Which the oddest thing about it is I always assumed that they came packaged from Union or from Air Cool or whoever made the Taiwan ones, Fanbird or whoever. I've always assumed that they came in a sealed box from overseas and that nothing was really happening to them here. Because that's how it is with like at Fanimation or Envirofan today even. They come in already packaged from the factories. Yeah. And there's no assembly or painting or packaging or anything that happens here unless it's a custom order. But these obviously had to be packaged here because how else would you have blades from one country and motor from another country and shekels from one, you know, it's like it's a very confusing haul. But I'm very happy to have it. Like I'm by no means complaining. Like this is very cool. And it's the closest I've come to having brown 56-inch Union Gold Lines, which you guys know is probably my most sought after fan that I haven't found yet. Still not exactly there because what I needed to actually be a full complete brown Union Gold Line with the Envirofan sticker. But this is damn close. So this is the one complete 85er. Anything else you want to say your medal list?
Not really.
Yeah, it's just confusing. Okay, so we know what this is going to do, right? As far as inrush?
Well, this is the Taiwan.
Oh, yeah. Okay, well, what do you think?
I'm going to guess smaller inrush.
Small inrush?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll stick with big then. I assumed it would be the same, but honestly, it's been a long time since I've tested one of these. I might be wrong.
Yeah.
8.2. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. The Taiwan-made gold lines are the best gold lines they made. Very, very rare to have issues with them. The strongest air movers. I think we're into big inrush, aren't we? I can't remember where it started.
Like 0.82.
Okay, so we're just barely into big.
I don't think it's dropping anymore.
I don't think it is, no.
No, so
man, that's powerful.
Yeah, it's still rather smaller than the Union.
Yeah, smaller than the Union, absolutely.
I knew it was going to be that, just with this type of motor.
Yeah.
Okay.
You getting a good reading?
I got 420, 428.
I don't think it's that high. It doesn't look like that high.
No.
Are you sure you're hitting the
Yeah.
tape you put on there?
Okay. 328.
That seems right.
Yeah, that does seem right. I knew it was in the 300.
Yeah.
300 RPM. So that's up there. Oh, 570. Is what I got, at least.
9,700, which on the one hand, I think we've gotten something like that before, but on the other hand, that's less than the Union, which surprises me because the Union,
Just make sure.
yeah, there are some flaws in our testing system. It's not perfect.
Yep.
570?
Yeah.
Okay, well that's 9,700.
Yeah, that's with the curved blades, so
Yeah.
it's sort of a question.
The one we tested before, the Union version, got I think 11,800. So I think it just might be a difference in just from test to test as opposed to from fan to fan, because I don't see any reason why this is the same blades but faster. So I think that's just a
91
discrepancy in our
watts.
testing. High power factor.
Power factor 1.
Okay.
Spin down.
What's been surprising so far is all of these fans straight out of the box have had no bearing problems.
Yeah.
That's not usually the case with new in-box fans that have been sitting since 85, I guess, since this one's got 85 on the serial number, and none of the other ones have a serial number. Yeah, they all run like champs despite...
Mm-hmm.
Good spin down, too.
Yeah.
Really good runner.
Oh, yeah.
Another thing Pete and I talked about earlier that that I don't think we talked about on camera before is that these have matte finishes.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the other brown gold lines of various generations, all generations really, are normally gloss.
Yeah.
But not always, because we have another brown, we have a brown like a 86 version, I think, right?
Yes, yes.
That's matte. I wonder, because again, they used to be the same company, but they did market differently, as you pointed out, because some had Banvil stickers, some had Envirofan stickers, and some had both. I wonder if Banvil was matte and Envirofan was gloss. The one like 85 that's gloss. Do you remember if it says Banvil or if it says Envirofan?
Not offhand.
Okay.
Yeah, it's still spinning down.
Yeah. That's pretty insane.
It is.
Another factor is you could make it glossier if you wanted to.
Well, sure.
Harder, you can't make it matte, but you can make it gloss.
Mm-hmm.
Hear the light outside just a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Okie dokie. Well, where do you think it's going to start?
Well, I know these motors, unlike the Unions, I think these are going to start lower than the Union ones.
Okay. How much lower?
I think I'm going to chance it with 3.
Wow, that's much lower than, okay. I'm going to go with 4, but since it's just the two of us, I'm going Price is Right rules. I think 5 is also a possibility.
Okay.
But these bearings are really good, so yeah, maybe you might be right. So yeah, I'll do 4.
All right. 1, 2. Oh, is that going?
I thought it budged.
Yeah. Here is 3.
Oh, looks like Metal Pete got this one.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's not always the case, but oftentimes the sign of a good motor is, can it start low on the test rig? Now, again, not always. There's plenty of good motors that start high and plenty of terrible motors that start low. Mm-hmm. But it's a good sign if it starts low on the test rig. And like I said, I think these 85 motors are the best designed.
Yeah, you notice there's quite a difference where they do draw less current.
They draw less current. They go a little faster.
Yeah.
I've only, in my entire time dealing with them, I've only seen one that had issues, and it was the one that we had issues with here.
Yeah, and I plug it back in, and then it goes.
Yeah, the 85 one here?
Yeah. I plug it in the wall just to test it again, and it works.
Oh, that one worked again?
Yeah.
The one that was sitting over there forever?
Yep.
So now it's working again?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, last time I tested it and plugged it right in.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you sure it wasn't the other one that was sitting over there? Didn't we have 2 sitting over there?
There is 2 sitting over there.
I thought the one that was a dud had all the wire, had the capacitor and everything disconnected. Maybe you got them mixed up. We'll check sometime,
Okay.
But
all right, here is 4, but 3 was already a good one.
Oh yeah, you won that round.
Here's 5. And I remember dealing with these. I put these on a wall control in the past. And I actually find, 5 will actually work.
Yeah, that's not bad.
But here is 6.
You like these on a 6814?
Yeah. Because then I actually got the speed range, a more reasonable speed range, where 8 still makes a great medium low, but...
So you like these almost as much as the Union versions, right?
Yes.
Me too.
Oh, yeah. 5 was actually... Oh, this one is a little faster than...
Yeah?
Okay, so here's 7.
This one just seems like an all-around good performance. Uh-oh. Almost dropped it.
And...
Oh. Okay, everybody. I'm glad Pete reminded me. I might have forgotten and we might have lost some of you. I need everybody to take all proper precautions. back away from your screen, turn your volume all the way down, put on your ear protection because this is going to get really loud.
And here's 8.
Crunch, 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 crunch. Crunch, 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 crunch. Pete is now opening a Sperry, the beverage of fan collectors. What do you think about Sperry, Pete?
It's very good.
It's very good.
Okay, so this is a grocery store, medium low.
Yep.
Right here.
Now we've talked about putting 2 of the Union versions in the GMS balcony, which I hope we're gonna do. I don't think we're pretty much gonna just leave them set to a speed there because nobody's gonna mess with them. What speed would you leave them on? Like a medium high?
Maybe not quite a medium high, more like towards a medium low. Like you said, if it's for heat purposes.
We want to bring the heat down, but we all do want to make sure it reaches all the way down to that foyer, which is super low. If it weren't for the fact that I want to preserve the motors, I would just let them run on high. But Union motors on high, I wouldn't want to leave Unions on high 24/7.
Right.
Like a nice medium or medium high.
Yeah.
We can try medium low and see if it brings the heat down enough.
Oh, sure. I'm just thinking more along the lines of keeping them from cooling the air.
Yeah.
Kind of like you don't want to cool the air, you just want to push it.
Well, hardly anybody goes up there right now, so it doesn't really matter if it's Hopefully, as people come back to church after COVID and stuff like that, hopefully we'll start packing the balcony out again. But
I even noticed in your videos, I always seen it empty beforehand.
It was the last time it was packed was quite a while ago when they packed out the balcony. Because right before COVID, Victor Davis had gotten real sick, and a lot of people stopped coming to church. And glad he's recovered. We love us some Victor Davis.
Mm-hmm. Here's 9.
Yeah, but and then we'll want to test a solid state control and see if it's too loud.
Oh yeah.
And if it's not, one of those raffle solid state controls would be perfect.
Yep.
And if it is too loud, then we probably want to build a custom capacitor control because we'll want to have I'm assuming we'll want to have both fans on the same control.
Yeah.
Which means that 81220 won't work.
Be enough.
Right. We have to maybe even double them. That has to be a 16.
Here's 11.
Okay, guys. Once again, it's time to use your ear protection. Back away from your screens. Turn your volumes all the way down. Tell your loved ones how much they mean to you, just in case you don't survive.
And 12.
Crunch, 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 crunch. Crunch, 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 crunch.
Already at 12, and here's 13. So you could use a 5, 8, 13.
Yeah, honestly, these work great on a 5, 8, 13.
Yeah, that's a more standard.
This is probably about the speed I would think for if we were putting this version in GMS. That speed is about what I was thinking. We can try lower though. I think in the interest of efficiency and motor preservation, we want the slowest constant speed that brings the heat down to the foyer.
Right. Yeah.
Because it's always super hot in that balcony, and cold in the foyer.
Yep. Now that's similarly, there was that church across from Reese's house. Not only did they have the gold lines in their church, but there's a brown contact like mine.
In the foyer.
Yes, and they explained to me why they leave it on, is because the doors, those glass doors freeze in the winter.
Gotcha.
And they said that it keeps the heat down just enough to keep those doors.
Well, that's smart of them.
Shut.
That was very smart of them to put it in there for that reason.
Yeah, that's what they explained. But right now, I noticed it has a failing capacitor because I tried turning it up high, and it only runs like a medium low on high.
Well, one day, is it something we could get to with a ladder?
Oh, it's not very high up.
Oh, then let's fix it for him someday.
Yeah, that's not very high up in their foyer. It's like maybe over 8 feet, 10 feet.
Do you know what capacitor value is in your contacts?
Not offhand. I can look.
Okay.
I'd be happy to look.
Yeah, we bring him a new capacitor.
Yeah, that would be an easy fix.
Yeah.
Here is 14, so... But here's your high medium right here. And we are
Good
nowhere...
backed off high.
Yeah. 15. 16. 17. 18. 19.
Okay, guys, this is the last one. I think we can survive it. Everybody, you know what to do. Put your precautions in place. It's gonna get dangerous.
And 20.
Crunch, 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 crunch. So much crunching.
Well, we're close to high.
We are. You want to start going up a little quicker and see if we go over?
Yeah. 21.
I like to keep these around in case I have an idea.
24. I'm right at high.
Yep.
Wait a minute, actually it dropped. There's 25. Let's see if...
That's right at high. See if you go over. Take it to 30.
Up here's 30.
I think that's over unless it's going to drop. Hit the high switch. Yeah, it's a little over.
Yeah.
Nose hair. What's next? Solid state?
Yes.
Okay. Do me a favor and use it, since those matte finishes are real sensitive, either use a towel or wipe your hands on the wet wipe before you touch the motor again, because the crunchables create oily fingerprints on it. It's a lot. It's like only noticeable because it's matte. If it was a glossy finish, I don't think you'd be able to see it. But that's the dangers of crunchables too. How do you think it's going to do in the solid state?
I think it's going to actually be bedroom quiet.
Okay. I'll go with living room. I don't think it's going to be living room. I think silent's even a possibility.
Yeah.
But I honestly don't remember. So I'm just going to take a safe bet at this point.
All right.
Yeah, Pete has this one, I think. Low end of bedroom even.
Yeah.
Because you can hear it. You can clearly hear it. It's not, I wouldn't call it silent by any means, but it's like, I would be fine with that in my bedroom.
Yeah. When you get it up to that speed, like I said, when you really hear it, the air whippings, once it gets up to speed, that's going to quiet down, and air whipping's going to take right over it.
Okay, well, is that it for this fan?
It is.
Okay, well, let's thank our sponsors. Fan Stick, Light Stick, Fan Stick Mini, and Florida Fan Stick, which is 69% longer and harder than regular Fan Stick. To find out more, go to buyfanstick.com, fanstick.biz, lightstick.biz, and buyfanstickxxx.com. Pete, I brought some wings earlier that were on my route, and they were pretty good, but you know what I would have much rather had?
A taco burrito Mexico.
A taco burrito in Mexico, and there's only one place to get all three. That's Taco Burrito Mexico. And then, if it were up to me, I would wash it down with a nice, refreshing Sperry, the beverage of fan collectors. What do you think about Sperry, your medalist?
It's very good.
Very good. As always, this video is lit in part by the Good Manufacturing Company, because we didn't need excellence in lighting. Good was just enough. Ricker Sheep is a fun game you
Oh,
can play with
yes.
your friends. We didn't get to play Ricker Sheep today, I don't think.
Not yet.
We still may. But also, if I wanted to play Ricker Sheep, all I'd have to do is go to rickorsheep.com. Is that 8-12-20 LLC, where our motto is crunch, 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 crunch. Is that all the sponsors?
That is.
Well, I guess it's time to sign off the video because we have nothing else to discuss. So, wow, who's that at the door? Why, look, it's Metal Jonas.
Doorbell.
Doorbells.
Oh, what a lovely new-tone.
New-tone doorbell.
Long chimes at Edwards.
Long chime doorbells.
Edwards, long chime.
Long chime doorbells. What do you think about House on the Rock, Metal Jonas?
House on the Rock. One word, incredible. One word, amazing. One word, overwhelming.
Wow. Okay, well, that's it for this video. We're going to do a couple more fans tonight, I think, and then obviously more content in the future. As always, patreon.com/dspiffy. And what else?
Bye.
Bye, Fantastic. Thanks for watching.